Yo, what the
is up, guys? It's the Steezin Out Podcast, and it's Nikki.
And Vince.
And we've had this idea for a while. We're sophomores in high school, starting our second semester, and we're just going to talk about school,
our lives,
and, like, what's going on and stuff. So, how's your school right now? Your experience?
It's chill. I feel like sophomore year is a lot different than freshman year.
Yeah, I think you, like, feel...
Yeah.
Like freshman year, I was so nervous around, like, older kids.
That's facts.
And just, like, I always, like I feel like I'm already, like, an older kid now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel more comfortable.
Like, it was so weird, like, first day of sophomore year, like, I see freshmen in the hallway, and I'm like, I instantly hate these kids. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it's just something about it.
It's, like, I feel like it's just freshman year that you're, like, a lower classman.
Yeah.
Obviously, kids are gonna be like, oh, you're a sophomore. But, like, it's most, like, if you're, like, just, like, cool, I guess, and you're, like, nice to the older people, like, they, like, immediately accept you. Or most of the time. Unless they're, like, scumbags, but, like freshman is kind of, like,
it's
the
harder to be a freshman.
Yeah, like, the lower classmen. And, like, I like some freshmen, but at the same time, they're always gonna be, like, lower than us. And I feel like once they're sophomores, like, we're juniors, it's gonna change. Because, like, last year, as a freshman, the sophomores were, like, brutal and stuff. Like, they would always joke with us, like, freshmen and stuff like that. But, like, now, like, I'm, like, friendly with juniors. And they're, like, more accepting.
I also feel like we're not that close with our freshman class.
Definitely. But I also feel like that's kind of what it was last year. A little bit, at least.
A little bit. But I just feel like we're so much different than the freshman class.
Definitely. Yeah, we definitely are. But I feel at the same time, they kind of... They came in with a really bad rep.
Yeah.
Which could be deserved.
And they're not, like, making it any better.
Yeah, they aren't proving themselves. They aren't proving us wrong at all.
Yeah. They're proving us right.
Yeah. But last year, we also came in with a bad rep. And we kind of proved that wrong.
What was our bad rep?
I think that a lot of, like, I have, like, a cousin, junior, and, like, I'm just friendly with some juniors. And they were saying how, like, they thought that we were going to be, like, the worst grade.
For real?
The worst, yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, they thought that we were going to be, like, our class was just a bunch of stupid, annoying kids.
Yeah.
And that's obviously in every grade there's going to be that. I'm just saying, like, so far, we've kind of, like... I think our grade really evolved from freshman year.
Yeah.
Too. Like, I think we were kind of like that. But I think that, like, once you just get from freshman year to sophomore year, you get a lot more comfortable.
Oh, definitely.
Like, in school and with the people there.
Yeah, no, dude, like, especially, like, middle school. I guess, like, not as much freshman year, but, like, middle school, dude, like... Dude, I was, like, an annoying little prick, like, you know?
Yeah, and, like, looking at, like, kids in high school, like, you're thinking those kids are so old and stuff.
Yeah.
And now, like, and it's the same thing looking down at middle schoolers, you're like, those kids are so young. And it was only, like...
It's really weird,
yeah,
too.
3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Like, I was walking through middle schoolers when they got out on one of the half days, and it was just, like, so weird.
It's crazy how much we've evolved.
Yeah.
Like, physically and mentally, it's just crazy. Like...
Mentally a lot,
You
too.
look at, like those kids and you're just like, they're so little.
Yeah.
They
don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, they're so ignorant.
And we always...
But
like, obviously, we're so young. I cannot say this.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot say this, like, as an adult.
Well,
I'm
like,
just saying, like, when we were young, we were like, oh, I just want to be that age.
And then we'll look back next year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years. And we'll be like, we were so young.
Yeah. I think that, like... You always want to be older.
Yeah.
But the more you get older, you
Did you see my tweet?
You want to be younger. No. Oh yeah, I did. I did see your tweet.
It was like a joke tweet, but like,
it was a joke, but it was realistic. Like I actually think that.
Yeah.
It was funny, but it was also kind of true.
If the viewers don't know, I mean, I tweeted out this like
put it
note.
On the screen?
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen now.
Okay.
So we'll put it on the screen. You guys can read it.
It's like a note about. I mean, if you're
just like growing up, it's like how like when you're young, like or just like the difference between young and
half of it
old.
is like weird and like jokey.
Yeah.
But like the other half is kind of like true. It's like stuff about how like what you thought about like some things in life. When you were younger, you thought about it this way, and now you think about it that way, and stuff like that. And like we're super young. We're so young, so like it's weird for us to say this. I'm just saying, like, even from then to now, I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when we're like actually adults.
It's crazy how fast this year's gone by.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I don't even remember first semester.
Actually,
it was like so fast.
Middle school was so fast too.
First semester was stressing. You
think?
Yeah, like definitely.
I had 4 core classes. Where I had
3 core classes. Yeah. And like English was a total breeze, blast. Like I loved going to English every day.
No, I have English. I have my teacher's the best. She's really nice.
And I think that like for English, like I literally was like excited to go to English class every day because my teacher was so, like he would just like, it wasn't like the school curriculum. It wasn't like forced at all. We started a discussion every day, and we just went on.
That's how it was for like seminar, middle school. Yeah, like it was the best class because you could just do.
And we just talked about whatever you want, life stuff. Like it wasn't like, and we were learning more than we would have. We weren't just like forcing like quizzes and like about like.
It wasn't about the grade. It was about like the experience. Yeah, that's what like our teacher trying to.
And then like some classes like I just get so bored.
Yeah.
Like, bored out of my mind. Like I go crazy, and I just can't focus. Like I think in like math, like I didn't do great first semester. I didn't really it was like fine, but like I always say like I should be getting all these, like I should be doing this, and like I tell myself, like when I'm not, that like I need to like pick it up, and it's all about like, school is so weird because it's like so much about like focus. Like if you can just like focus in on like a block and like your classes, you'll do good, but it's like it's not even like, obviously if you have like a high IQ or like if you're just a smart kid, you're gonna do good, but I'm saying like it's also how much you like put into it, and like it's so hard to put into something that you don't want to put in, you like care about, but like if you do, it works out.
I think I'm just lucky because like I don't know, math just comes like natural to me. Like I'm good at math, which is like, you know, because like math causes a lot of stress for people.
Yeah, it definitely does. In my classes, so many kids did bad at math. In my English class, nobody did bad. Like it's more like, and a lot of the time, it's just about what you tell yourself too.
Yeah.
Like you tell yourself, I'm not gonna do good. Like in a lot of the time in my classes, especially I'm not a good test taker. Like in my classes, when I told myself like I knew this stuff, like I would know this stuff, and when I told myself during the test, like I went in nervous, I second guessed myself, like I didn't do as good as like I felt like I could have.
Yeah, no, my history teacher,
that happens so much.
On tests, he's like, one of the most common ways to get an answer wrong is changing your answer. He's like, just go with your gut. And we grade our own quizzes, so like first 2 quizzes, like I see firsthand, like I changed my answer and it was wrong. Yeah. So like you just gotta.
I actually, world cultures, I thought it definitely got boring.
Yeah.
But I thought some of like I thought the concept of that class was awesome, like because we learned about like modern stuff that was just going on, like in everyday.
I wish I had that too.
Oh like, yeah, what you took
AP World?
Yeah. How is that? I get a lot of weird like.
Yeah.
It's different. I hear a lot of weird stuff about that class. Just like a lot of different stuff.
No, dude. I mean, it's weird. It's already second semester. It feels like.
Oh yeah, it's a full year.
Yeah,
class.
it's full year.
So in our high school, we have block scheduling where you have 4 classes every day for like an hour and 20 minutes, and you pretty much have 2, like school years, kind of 2 semesters, where you take 4 different classes, and I like it.
But in my case, AP World, it's a full year. And it's not that bad. Like, it's already second semester. It's going by so fast, so it's not that bad.
It's crazy.
It's cool because, like, it's, like, the whole history of humans. Like, it started from, like, the very beginning and, like, going all the way. But I wish I don't know, like, maybe I would rather learn about, like, stuff that happens, like, is happening right now.
I just saw some of the discussions, like, if it's also about, like, how people deliver, like, the discussions to, like, the teachers.
The content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're too animated, that's one thing. But, like, if you're just, like, a little animated and, like, try to keep kids, like, paying attention, like, some of the discussions were really enjoyable, and others were just, like, maybe they would be, but, like, it just wasn't, like, delivered right, and I couldn't focus. And that's the only I feel like a lot of times with like smarter kids, when the smarter kids do bad, it's because they just didn't focus enough. Like they didn't pay attention at the right times because they got like.
That's how it is for like most people. Like if you just don't focus.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying like maybe if you're not like as smart, like actually I feel like that's normally what it is, because even if you're like not the smartest and you focus, you do good. But yeah. What was I gonna say? I was about to say something about world cultures. I forget what it was.
Is there like a timeline in that class? Like is set?
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah, it was like we talked about like a refugee crisis, and then we talked about like World War One and like and kind of just like a lot of Middle Eastern conflicts. Yeah. And like in the past and present, which I liked a lot. Which is when it was stuff like that that she didn't make it sound fun. It was hard to like pay attention, but like the present stuff, it was easy for me to like enjoy it. I feel like, and like get involved, and that's when I did better in the class. And I'm more of like a project guy.
Yeah, same.
Cause I like it's something that like I created.
Especially in like seminar, like when we had projects, like you could choose like any medium to like put it out. Like could be like a writing piece, a video, a song, like anything. And like I usually chose like video because like I just had fun editing and like doing it, and it was like it was a blast.
And like the end product makes you very excited and happy.
And I've already been back to
and that's
seminar.
Why I'm so excited.
Like showing the younger kids my projects.
And that's why I'm so excited for you for like Mr. Hadford and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm super excited about like. It's a chance for us. We've always wanted to make videos and like create like funny content, and it's finally like it's an easy way for us to do that, and like it's gonna like give us a pathway to make that happen. I feel like. Yeah,
I'm not really sure when I like what I want to do when I grow up, but like one thing I want to do is just like I want to make something like a video or something.
Yeah, I definitely
like a movie, like dude, that would just be so cool.
I definitely want to like work, like obviously like I would love to do that, but like, and like I would think that we could make something like happen, like a short. Or just like short funny videos, like
yeah.
And I'm thinking like when I grow up, I definitely want to work with like kids, and like I want to do something in like the medical field, like be like a nurse practitioner, like even maybe a doctor if I like have the grind, like if I really want it.
Oh, dude, I don't think I could take medical school.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like
8
I'm
years.
just thinking about it. Like that's why I was thinking about like a nurse practitioner, which is probably like 6, but it's like once you get that done, like you just have like. If I can think positively enough, I feel like for those like 6 years and like
I think
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But if I have like the right surroundings and stuff like that, I think like that's what I want to do, because I love working with people, and that's like I have a way higher like EQ than IQ, like my emotional like it's I'm just way better with people, and I enjoy that more, and I think that if I could get that done, like I'd have a very happy life. I feel like.
No, I'd low-key like want to be a teacher. But, like, not out of college.
I know what you mean.
But, like, maybe when I settle down older and, like, become a teacher, that'd be awesome.
Like, just, I agree. I think that, like...
And, like, high schooler, like, teach high schoolers? Because I wouldn't want to, like, teach, like, kids. But...
I'd definitely want to be... I definitely thought about that before. Thinking about, like, being the teacher that I've always wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that... It's just, like, it gets, just because, like, the salary and stuff like that, it gets, like, looked down on and stuff. But it's, like, there's a lot of benefits.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I do it, if I do it.
If you do it right out of college,
I don't want to do it.
55, like, you're going to be, like, set. It's just, like,
but if I do it, like, not right out of college, but, like, later on, like, there's so many benefits, like, if I settle down, like, summers off with your family.
Yeah.
You get, like, healthcare, like, a 401k. So you're set for retirement. Like, there's just so... It'd be sick.
And, like, the pension.
And the experience of it. You know?
Yeah,
like that's a lot more.
Yeah, I definitely want to just, like, people in general, but, like, kids especially. Like, I definitely want to work with kids. Because I think that, like, And this is another thing that I think, like, it's hard for us to say because we're so young. And, like, we're a perfect example of, like, new generations is getting kind of worse and worse just because of, like, everything that's going on, like, technology, like, everything. But I think that, like, if the people who realize that have an impact, that's probably going to help the most than, like, the people that, like, aren't really thinking about, like, the effects on, like, the new generations.
The future, yeah.
And, but what in school are you taking now? Second semester. Like, what are you doing now? AP World.
AP World, yeah. English, health, and Chem. I forgot about Chem.
Yeah, health is kind of like a joke, kind of.
Yeah.
In my class. It's kind of just like, which they're just trying to they're just trying to teach. They're not really trying to, like, make it a challenge, obviously. They're just trying to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like.
And my teacher's nice. Like, she tries to get everyone involved.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually don't mind that too. But I'm in. What am I thinking right now? Pre-calc. I actually, so far, I can't speak too soon. I like it so far. Like, I actually really like it. Because I just came out of Algebra 2. Yeah. So, and that's kind of like what it is.
Just like a lot of Algebra 2.
Yeah, it's a lot of Algebra 2, a little geometry, stuff like that. But so far, so good. And I think it's going to be one of my more successful math classes that I take.
Yeah.
And what else am I taking? First I have health, then I go to biology. I like biology because I want to be, like, in a medical field, something like that. I think that stuff's so cool. And my teacher's really cool. He makes everything sound so much cooler than maybe it is, which, like, gets everybody involved.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. And I have a fun class, but what else do I have? Oh, Spanish. Spanish is, like, it's one of those classes where it's so hard to pay attention because it's just so.
Yeah.
It's so new. Everything's so new, and, like, my class is just loaded, and, like, it's so hard to do successful in a class when it's, like, difficult, because, like, some Spanish, like, the first 3 Spanishes were, like, easy, like, they kind of threw you, like, the oop on everything with tests and stuff like that, and now it's, like, starting to be, like, we're only speaking in Spanish, like, no English, like, this is it, like, our Quizlets are only Spanish, like, the definition and the term, so it's, like, it's really hard to study, and it's, like, and it's one of those classes where, like, if you pay attention, you could do good.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's hard to do good in classes where you have a bunch of friends in, a bunch of goofy kids, and it's one of those, like, freedom type classes. So that's I'm trying to like set myself up for success early in that class, even though it's gonna be hard because I have, like, friends. But
no.
Yeah,
I'm glad I took Italian, but, like, there's times where I wish I took Spanish because, like, I feel like people get.
Like, in the future, you mean? Like,
I guess.
taking Spanish for the future?
Yeah.
I mean, you take Spanish next year. You could take Spanish 1 next year.
Yeah.
And Spanish 2. Spanish 3 and Spanish 4. And
but
like,
I don't want to, like, take...
I know, but that'd be such a grind, too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'd always be doing it. Do you think... I bet even Spanish would be easier, too, because there's got to be stuff, like, that, like, connect it. But...
I think the biggest thing about school for me is, like, I'm just, like, the biggest procrastinator, like, ever.
Really?
Yeah, and it sucks.
You don't seem like the biggest procrastinator.
Dude, I am.
Like, you do really well.
I know.
Like,
but, like, I'm the biggest procrastinator.
Like, you go home, just, like, hop on it, like, PlayStation, like, watch what you do videos, and then, like...
Yeah.
Do your work at, like, night.
Yeah.
So that's always what I used to do. That's always what I used to do. I'm really, like, looking at myself in the mirror right now. I'm, like, starting to go home. Because I've always been busy. My whole life has been busy with, like, sports and stuff. Like I've just always played sports. I'm not, like, that good. I just always have. And, I just started this year realizing that I just need to, like, manage my time better. Because, like, it really starts to matter. And, like, since you have so much time, you can.
Yeah. I think also, like, since I don't get bad grades, and, like, since, like, the procrastination isn't, yeah. Like, but, like, I definitely have, like, organized my time a lot better. Because, like, 7th grade until, like, freshman year, like, I was, like, the worst. Like, I'd stay up so late doing work. But, like, now, like, I don't do that anymore, but, like, I still procrastinate, but, like, it's not as bad.
And I'm, like, I feel like Yeah, like I always used to get like not enough sleep. Like I wouldn't like.
Oh, dude, I got no sleep. Like I wish
maybe, like,
I got a lot more sleep in like 7th and 8th grade and 9th grade, cause like now I need it even more.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
and I'm getting more sleep, but like I wish I.
And I'm like so gullible about that stuff. Like, oh, like if you don't get enough sleep, like you won't grow, or like you won't like stuff like that. And that hits me so hard. Like I like won't get enough sleep, and be like, and I'll tell myself, like, oh my god, like I'm not gonna, like I'm gonna stop growing and stuff. Like I'm so like that. I'm so like
exactly,
that. Like
yeah.
I see it on the internet and stuff. And like
that's exactly.
I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like if I slept better, like I was just on my phone for 2 hours tonight, and instead of like going to bed and growing and stuff, like I just like played on my phone. Anyway, so about like the stuff you see about like not growing, like after you sleep.
Cause then like there's this story about.
And I'm like healthy. Like I get a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
Like I don't eat the healthiest, but like
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't be psyching myself out. But like when I get like 7 hours of sleep when I could have got 9, I'm like, dude, like I get so mad at myself. And it's like not that.
Cause I hear stories about like there's just like one kid in our grade and like.
About how he like slept so much. And
Yeah.
So tall.
Like just because he slept so much, like he's like 6'4".
His parents aren't that tall.
Yeah.
Like he just slept like 10 hours, 11 hours sleep every night, and now he's like 6'4", and I was like, damn it.
That's
dude,
what
like,
I kept in my head too. Yeah.
Like, and it's like we're so wrong about that. Like obviously it helps, but like not. Like,
yeah.
We shouldn't be getting mad at ourselves over it when like that's the thing. Like I always get mad at myself over my height, and like I can't, like I have so many other like skills and like abilities that like I should be so fortunate of, and I'm like always stressed out about my height. Yeah. Which is like so stupid.
It's the worst.
And I always will be like.
Same.
I mean like now like once I like obviously get older I won't, but like I'm always like, Dad, like why are you so small? What the heck? And he's like, man, it's just how God made me, like stuff like that, and I'm just like, it's like always like a joke.
Yeah, my
like,
dad's not even that small. But, like
it's always like a joke. I'm just like, man, like I just want to trade something to be taller.
Like
and
it matters.
Like, it doesn't
in
matter.
a couple years, it won't matter at all.
Yeah, it won't. And like we're not even like that small. Like it could be worse.
I mean, I was at the doctor's the other day, and they said like I still got like 3 or 4.
You're gonna be tall. We're just like so. Like that's so funny because that's what I do all the time. Yeah. I literally always do that. And like I'm always like, oh, I just wish I could have been like I always like. I mean, everybody does this, but like I compare myself to people like, oh, I just wish I was like a 5-star recruit in like high school and stuff, and like my like whole lifetime was like paved for me. Like it was just gonna be easy for me because I like I always like think about like, oh, I just wish I was like a genius, or I always wish I was like super good at basketball. When it's just like, it's just so unrealistic to say. And like I wonder what like goes through like those people that like are already like making scientific discoveries at like 17 and like already have like college like recruits like as like a sophomore and stuff. Like what do you think their life is like? Like what do you think they're thinking?
I have no clue.
It's crazy.
Cause like I don't know, I do well in school.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like.
And even you like stress yourself.
But even
out.
because like I compare like I see those kids. I'm like, and like on Naviance, like you can see. Yeah. You can look at a college and see like their acceptee rate, and like you can see like their SAT scores and like their GPA. Yeah. And like I'm looking at like these good schools, and like they're like you see people with like crazy GPAs and like crazy like not being accepted. I'm like, and it's just like damn.
Yeah, but like I always try to like reassure you and like other people that say that stuff too, because it's like you will have so many options. Yeah. Like people just psych themselves, like me too. I psych myself out so much, like about like getting like a B on a test and stuff. Like even though like it's not like there's so many other good qualities I have and stuff. And like I always tell you like you're gonna have so many options. Like you should just keep it up and you should like totally be fine.
It's the worst though because like I care so much about grades.
Yeah, and it's
like the number.
It just shows like
when I wish I cared more about like the other half of school. Like I don't know.
Like obviously like you're really positive, but like especially me, like people say like, oh, I'd be so much happier if I like had like a 4.0 or just like got better grades and stuff like that. Just as an example for anything, for like sports, doesn't matter what it is. But like even those people, like they still like probably have stress or like just as much.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different type. They're all
and for different reasons.
People who are lazy like want to be like more that maybe they are, but like they don't work for it. And then people who like work for it like think they don't deserve like they deserve
there's
more.
Always
like there's
people
always
higher than you, so you're always like trying to
there's
compare
always
them.
something. And like even like the richest and like best people in the world, like they probably like have shitty moments in their life, like for sure. Like it's everybody's.
Oh yeah, obviously.
It's just like thinking about that, like it's just something that we all like. We never tell ourselves this.
Plus our generation, like social media and stuff, like
oh my gosh,
it's the worst.
Like people want to look like I can't even.
I can't imagine like being a girl because like there's so much.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like just people want
expectations.
And, yeah, that's kind of brutal, man.
Yeah,
and like
it takes a toll.
Yeah, like just thinking about that, like that's a whole new stress that like we don't have to deal with as much, obviously. Cause like I'm not always saying about like, oh, I wish I looked like some like good looking dude like in the movies and stuff like but like I feel like, and I could be wrong. I can't speak for girls, but like they're always saying like, I wish I looked like her and stuff.
Yeah, so and so.
Or like, I don't know. And like the whole thing about like how high school like, I keep saying like, but for high school, thinking about like a stress is like, one sec, let me start over. In high school, people like dating and stuff, like that's also like the funny, I feel like high school relationships and stuff are even, they're not weirder than middle school, but they're also like just as whack, I feel like, because it's like people are always, they're never making the right decisions in relationships, like rarely, like they're rarely making the right decisions, and people are always like, oh, like I'm in high school, like I just want somebody who's just like this and this, but like you're never just gonna get that perfect person like in high school. I just think it's funny how like our expectations are just so high right now. Like, and I bet like the upcoming generations are even gonna be worse.
It just always goes back to like we're not like you're not old enough. Like like you don't know enough.
Yeah, it's so true. And like we're saying that about like younger people, but like we're so young.
Yeah.
Like thinking about this, and that's why like this idea of like the podcast stuff is gonna be so cool as we get older. And like and listen back on like our thoughts as sophomores, and when we're older, we're gonna think we're so young. But it's like we already think that we're like older. It's like I've like have younger cousins and stuff, and like just looking at them, like they think we're super old. It's like crazy, it's just so crazy. And like talking, like I love talking about this stuff because it makes me feel better about like I shouldn't be stressing about like the stupid little things in like school and stuff, because like we're doing good and like we are so fortunate.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're so lucky.
Like we are so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to just completely flip the... Do you care if I flip the topic?
I was going to say, yeah, I think we should switch it up.
I was going to...
What do you want to talk about?
I was going to talk about how... I was going to talk about YouTube. Because I think that in YouTube... I was just like... I went on a rant the other night. It was just over YouTube.
To
but
who?
It was like... It was kind of like to myself and my brother. About how... It's so dumb how... The really popular people
algorithm?
on... Not even that. The really popular people on YouTube are the really popular people on YouTube. Because there's so many funnier people out there. So many more creative people out there like Josh Ovalle and Lucas. And like that whole group. And like Casey.
And there's plenty of more.
Like the Real Bros. Yeah.
That's just the people
we know.
Yeah.
There's got to be so many more that just like... It's like what people want to watch is so crazy. And like I bet like everybody knows this, but just like the clickbaiting and like
I think it's
what people watch
so
is just
crazy
whack.
how like kids channels like are insanely popular.
I don't understand who watches that.
Well, the kids.
I know, but like as a
I know.
As a kid, like, you know, it's very true because like my cousins like, I'll watch a YouTube video with them. They'll put on, not even like Logan or Jake Paul, but somebody like them.
Yeah.
Somebody like them who's not called that bad yet. They will eventually be called. Oh, well, this person's so.
Like, most of the time, like, as you get more popularity, like you get more toxic or some shit.
Yeah, and you get more hate and stuff. But like somebody compare like I can't throw out a name, but they'll be watching somebody, and a joke will come out of their mouth, something that they're saying that my cousins think is so funny. My little cousins think is so funny, and I'm just like, these are the people that enjoy these videos, and that's why they're so famous because like
are they like vloggers?
Yeah, stuff like that, and even just like people like Allie and stuff like that. Like Allie is a whole other extreme.
Yeah,
but similarity, like who just clickbait.
Well, because like they get
it's
popular.
all younger.
Like they get they get their equation down, and they just keep pumping out and, like, the same.
Yeah, and
they know what gets money. They know what like.
And when people say like, oh, like your 10-year-old like army who views a video, it's like it's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like the people that are actually watching those videos are 12 years old and under.
And there's millions of them.
And there's so many. I wonder what this scale is. The amount of like ages on YouTube.
Probably
like
from
the ages of the
like
kids.
5 to whatever.
But I bet the older it gets, the way less it gets. Way less.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason the weirder and shittier channels are bigger. Because there's so many more younger kids. And all the older kids, who maybe have like a good sense of humor, will watch the funnier people, in our opinion. But there's just not as many of them. There's not as many. And they don't have as much time to watch as those younger kids who have all the time in the world just to watch YouTube and those creators. Which just whacked me. And it makes me like feel bad for some of those like so funny. I want the best for them. Like I want them to make it. And talking about how like when people like a song, like people like a song like on YouTube, I feel like people are kind of like a song once they could be so funny and so like a very good song right when it comes out, like so good, and then everybody just hops on it and like it gets bad. The song gets bad because it's so overplayed. Like some YouTubers were so good,
stale.
and then so many people start watching them that it's not as
stale.
It's not as fun to be a part of it anymore. And I think that
like,
always makes me sad.
I love Casey Fry.
Yeah.
But what we were talking about earlier.
Loved him, dude. He was.
But
he
like,
was the man.
and like he's mainstream, and he still is the man. But like he still
is the man. You're right.
He still does
he's
like the same content, but like.
It doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel special being a fan of Casey anymore. Because like even back on like Vine when he was making those like funny ass videos that we were like, man, we just want this guy to like blow up because he deserves it. Once he did, obviously I'm super happy for him, but it's like it just doesn't feel special. And like you always want people to know like, oh, I've been watching that guy since like that's the thing that always happens when like it's never gonna actually get you anywhere. Because it's never gonna like prove a point.
Because you just
anything.
like being part of it.
Yeah.
And, like, the process. Yeah. Oh, dude, I got a funny ass story. Like 6th grade, like summer maybe. I would watch Twitch all the time.
Really? Twitch?
Yeah, and like sports video games.
Mm-hmm.
And like this like new guy like came up, and like I would always watch him.
What was his name?
I don't know. Okay. He's not big anymore. He like stopped streaming. But I don't know. Like I was front with him, and like I was like always in his chat, and like he made me like a admin or like a mod. I swear.
Are you serious?
Dude, I was like 12. I was like 12. No, I was like 12 or 11. And like I'm acting like I'm like 18. Like they're like, how old? Dude, so I'm this mod, and like I'm in this chat, and he starts like blowing up a little bit. Like he starts getting like 1,000. Like it's crazy.
1,000 viewers, like regularly. That's
like followers.
That's good.
Followers.
Oh, okay.
But like he would get like a lot. Like he was growing, and it was just cool. And I got into this fight with like another mod, and they tried to expose me for being like young. That's scary shit.
Like what was your like? You were like stressing.
Yeah.
Like that was like your main stress in 7th grade. Like you might get kicked out.
It was probably like 5th grade. Like, no, I was like young, dude.
That's so funny. That's like actually really funny. Like
I've never
being a mod on like a Twitch account. Like how old do you think those like mods are for like the big streamers?
No clue.
It's actually crazy how like 2018, 2019, how big Twitch and streaming got. Was because a lot of the time I think about like, is it just us figuring it out or is it actually just blowing up? And I think that.
Well, it's just both of it. It's just like
especially
us
Fortnite
adding to
helped.
it blowing up. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that.
Well, yeah, obviously
streamers
Fortnite
and stuff
was like
got
a huge
so
part.
big. I hate watching streams.
Yeah, I
hate it.
Yeah, I never watch.
I'd way rather watch videos.
Yeah.
YouTube videos. I can't stand the off time of like a fight. Like I can't watch people just like talking and like looting and stuff. Like I could never do that. In like any game.
It takes a lot to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Like all the way through.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they do it hours, like 8 hours a day. I don't get how they could be so successful. I don't understand. It's so hard to be so.
Like
I
Nick
could
A
not.
makes me crack up.
Nick A.
Yeah.
He's a perfect example of like just like a really like weird human.
Yeah.
Just like a really like confusing.
Just like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Like I think he really is like genuine. Like he is like that, but like
He's just like a total nerd.
It's just
really
so different
funny.
from like these toxic people. Like it's just so different. So that's
like
why
a
it's
lot
so
of the
weird.
time, like I think those people are so funny, like the toxic people.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, like that they must be so upset when they like do stuff like that. Like a perfect example, like you know that kid, Mongrel.
Dude, I don't know.
It's
like,
this
any
Fortnite kid.
streamers.
It's this Fortnite kid, who, like whenever he dies, he just freaks. Or what's his name? No, it's not Mongrel. Deller.
I heard you guys. You guys keep talking about Deller, but I don't know.
This guy, it is like insane. Like I think he's obviously like faking it.
Is he the white guy?
That freaks out. He breaks.
I think I know him.
He literally smashes
his
stuff
keyboard
after he dies.
I think I saw him once.
And now it's getting so old.
Yeah.
It's getting so old because he was blowing up because he would just freak out and it was so funny. He'd scream and throw something and like that's everything. Everybody wants to see that. And now it's like every time he dies, he just screams. It's like hurts your ears.
Like, do you know
It's just like things like that just get so stale.
Do you know the old Steven Freakout videos?
Yeah, those were fake.
Yeah, I know.
But those were so funny. Is that the kid who shoved the
yeah, the remote up
his butt? Yeah. That's funny. That was really funny
so
at
funny.
the time.
I would always watch them.
Rewatching it, I
with
don't
like
think
my
it would
neighbors.
be funny. It would
you
not
know,
be funny.
I would always watch them with my neighbors, and like the other day I was hanging out with them, and like we rewatched it, and it was like kind of funny, but like then it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, like oh my gosh, those videos of like their dad like throwing PlayStation in pool. Like I don't know if that was the same thing, but it was stuff like that, and like the kid would just literally.
That's McJugger Nuggets. The dude with the glasses, like he was fake.
Yeah, like
and,
all
like,
that
no
was
one
fake.
knew he
But,
was
like,
fake.
that content is just like so hard to look away. Like it's so.
But that's
funny.
like the foundation of like race.
But I actually watched one of those Steven Freakout videos, probably like years after it was like popular, and I did not think it was funny at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Some of them are kind of funny, but like some of them are just like stupid.
So and now
stupid.
looking back on it, you can tell it's so fake. But like at the time, you thought
it's so cool. Like threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Like I saw that like years ago.
Like,
I had no clue that was like
he's
Andy
just a
Samberg.
creator. Yeah, it's Andy Samberg. Like,
and like now it's so cool to see.
So
that was
funny.
like Andy freaking. And like
and other actors in that
and like
video.
Ryan
like,
Reynolds.
yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds is in.
Yeah.
I never knew it was Ryan Reynolds.
And what's the guy with the hot dog?
The hot dog vendor?
No. I think it was either a hot dog vendor or the guy with the drinks. I forget who it was, but somebody in that video was also like a very famous actor that like you would just never know. And that's why the video was so funny because those are super creative people making a video
together. Do you know
together.
Kyle and Beck from SNL?
Kyle and who?
Beck.
Oh, Kyle Beck.
Kyle and Beck.
From
SNL. They're in SNL right now, but they used to have like an old YouTube channel and make a bunch of videos.
No, I didn't.
They were really funny.
They made SNL.
No, they're in SNL. Now, like they're actors for SNL.
Yeah.
But they used to have a YouTube channel together.
That's crazy. I
it
also
was
think
really
it's
funny.
so crazy how Steve Carell like didn't make SNL. Like he didn't. Like they didn't take him for SNL. Like he's been on
did
SNL.
Did he try to?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Like it's like you try out for SNL.
For real.
Yeah, like you audition for it.
Look up.
And like
Kyle.
he didn't make it. Isn't that just crazy? But like I think SNL is such a cool
Do you like Jimmy Fallon?
I watch those videos when I see somebody I like on his show, and like Jimmy Kimmel.
I
can't even tell the difference between them. Jimmy Kimmel.
I'm just saying like as a person, like Jimmy Fallon. I like him. Like people like give him a lot of crap for like.
I think his
fake like laugh.
Yeah.
But he is like he's super talented.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like anybody who's that.
Yeah.
For an adult audience, anybody who's that like.
Kyle Mooney, that's his last name.
Let me see a picture of him. Kyle Mooney. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy on SNL. Yeah.
Did you see the Kanye one? He like rap out on Kanye.
I actually think I did.
Really?
But
that's really funny.
I think so many. Do you think Pete Davidson's funny?
I saw like.
I don't think he's funny, like at all.
At all.
At all.
I think because like, he even talks about this like. He's just like the same guy every time, like the pizza guy. That's like like he's the same character every time, so it's just getting stale.
Yeah, I think that.
I think he used to be
knows
funny.
it.
Yeah, no, he.
I mean,
like I saw him. Like,
I don't hate him as a person. I just don't think he's
on
that
like
funny.
a show or podcast. He's like,
yeah,
like, I'm always that guy.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't dislike it. He's probably fine with it because he's probably making bank.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking like, it's just like. I think it turned stale. Maybe the first time I watched him, I actually know for a fact the first time I watched him, I thought he was really funny, and then I watched like 3 more videos where he was in it. And it was the same thing. You're right.
It's crazy to see how like people like Shane Dawson, for example,
oh
like
gosh.
they've been popular for so long, but their content is like always changing. Though, like you gotta give him credit.
I hate him.
You know, you hate him.
Mm-hmm. And I was just talking about this.
Video, not like the new ones that came out. But like his it's
that's
so
why I hate
corny.
Him.
But like
that's why I hate him.
I still watched it and it was
conspiracy. I agree. His content is so hard to look away from.
Because he's always like you know with the Jake Paul like he's
no,
just
I think
always
he's
on
doing.
I
think he's very smart. Yeah. I think he's a very smart person. I just think watching his videos, I just cringe. So hard.
Did you watch the Jake Paul?
I never did. I never watched a single one of it. I watched the Tana
manga.
Yeah.
I saw the Jake Paul.
I watched it.
I watched the whole thing.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it.
Just like bored in the summer. Was it in the summer? Hopefully.
I don't think it was. I think it was like 2 months ago.
For real?
3 months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe like during winter break.
Yeah, maybe.
But. Yeah, he makes it so every video he's like whispering and like looking at the camera weird, and I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like it.
The only reason I like this because like I actually like the conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
like,
I think that even when I watch his conspiracy theories, he's like I turn off the video because I'm like nervous watching him. Like he scares me. like he looks at the camera weird. He like talks in a weird voice. He's like, so today guys, and like the screen flickers and he's like a ghost, and then it goes back to him, and he's like, we have a bunch of new conspiracy theories, and then his friend gets a call, and it's like,
yeah, you know,
and it's like, and it's like,
they're like, oh my god,
yeah, like that could have been so fake, like that could have been completely planned. It looks super fake, because there's no proof on the video. Yeah. It's only them saying it. There's no proof on the video. And everything that happens, they hear a sound in their back room, and they go, they look at the camera like.
The Jake Paul videos were from like September, October, like beginning of the year.
Oh my gosh, dude! I like it always came up on my feed, and I never clicked on it. Yeah,
dude, I just like watched the first one, and then I was just like hooked.
You know who else I hate?
Huh. You hate?
Hate.
Yeah.
I think Shane Dawson's really cool. I just don't. I get skeeved out by videos. And
I just brought it up to show an example of how like someone that like stayed popular for so long is just because.
Funny at all.
KSI, I don't think he's watch his videos.
I think I used to think he was funny. Yeah. I think his laugh's funny.
Yeah.
But now he just like really.
I used to like watch him like his old
really
videos.
Annoys me.
Like FIFA and stuff because I used to play FIFA.
I think he's like scarily like weirdly delusional. Like it's like.
You know Jake Paul.
He like really thinks he's like a god.
Yeah. You know Logan Paul has a podcast now?
Yeah, I do know that. I always see memes about his podcast with like Rice Gum and like that
Riley Reid.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
He's weird. Logan Paul's really weird.
He's weird.
But he's also very smart.
Yeah, he's smart.
But he's like just an idiot too.
I feel like Logan's a lot smarter than Jake.
Definitely. Because Jake's like trying to be Logan, I feel like. but he's trying to be different.
Yeah. It's also hard because, like, it's not his fault, too. Because, like, you know...
I mean, they're both very smart. They're just... They actually have 10-year-old armies. Nobody watches them who's over 12. I bet, like, if you go to the percentages, you can see that, right? Or they can.
Obviously.
They can. It's actually
you could
probably 90%, like, 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, obvious.
It's just crazy how you can make a living off that. And amazing living off. And the reason why so many kids like it is because it's not kiddish. They think they're so cool watching it because he's acting like an older dude, and they're trying to act
doing like stupid ass.
Yeah, and they're trying to say like, oh, I watch this guy who does older stuff. If he was doing like kid stuff, I don't think he'd be as popular. But he's like he curses and stuff like that, and like the kids love that.
It's funny in a way, not for why he's trying to be funny.
I remember when I was younger,
like,
I thought the more older and like badder stuff were cooler.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, which is good for them. But it's just like crazy. It's crazy. And you know that Ethan and Neil are having a baby.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that was real. That's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I saw like their videos about it, or like I didn't watch them, but
baby revealed it.
I didn't see like I didn't watch the videos, but I saw like thumbnails. It is. That's good for them.
No, is it a girl?
I used to watch H3 all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I love H3. But
yeah,
I used to watch their podcast. Oh, dude, like I've watched so many podcasts.
I love Cody Ko's podcast so much.
The
GMG? I love it. I think it's very good. Insanely chill.
Yeah. Just because like the people
he gets are so good. Like they're so interesting. Yeah. I loved that podcast. That's my favorite podcast of all time.
Or I don't know if it's all time, but
I actually think it was my favorite podcast of all time with Josh.
I can't really like. I don't really.
And then with Josh and Lucas, did you see the one with Josh and Lucas?
I think
you have to watch that if you haven't. They're so.
If I did, they're like
different creatures. Like they know so much about everything about like content making. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think those guys are so cool. Like I want to be like those guys. Like it's crazy. But at the same time, they they always talk about how they're unhappy with their lives and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
well, everyone has problems. So.
It's crazy though. All right, like you want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right, so
thank you for
thanks for watching. If you're still here, thank you very much for listening to that whole thing.
First podcast. I think it went great. Yeah.
We got way more comfortable as it went on.
Definitely.
I'm hyped.
It flowed. We got that.
Yeah, did good. I think we did good.
That's what we expected.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Definitely happy with that. All right.
What are we at? Oh, damn.
Like, all right, boys.
Clean dat.
It's a Steezin Out Podcast. Steezin Out Podcast, and we're out.
Peace, boys.